Live from clickorlando.com, this is News 6 and this is a News 6 Plus takeover. Here now is Lisa Bell and Candace Campos with Florida Foodie. Sponsored by Light Orlando, delivering hope together.
Hello and welcome back to Florida Foodie. I'm your host, Candace Campos.
And I'm the show's producer, Thomas Mates, filling in for Lisa Bell. Today's guest has spent more than a decade working in restaurants around the greater Orlando area before starting his own restaurant. But in that time, he's been dealing with some unique challenges since opening up in Winter Park earlier last year, I believe.
Almost a year now.
Almost a year now.
And we are so happy to be joined with Chef AJ Haines from Hen Hog. And you were saying there's a lot of complications, and it's not just with the restaurant, it's also with you as well. But we'll get to all of that in just a few minutes. But it was so nice to officially meet you.
Nice to meet you.
We've been following along because your food always looks so good. Anytime you see it on Instagram or Facebook or someone posts it, you're like, where is that from? It's Hen Hog.
Well, just need everybody to come out now and enjoy it.
So where did you start? Are you born and raised here?
Born and raised Oshkosh, Wisconsin. My mother's side of the family, the Pucci's, had an Italian restaurant. So I grew up in that with friends and family, everybody on the weekends getting together and learning how to cook. Usually my great Aunt Helen teaching us and showing us everything that way. And then my grandfather on my dad's side was an at-home chef. So he worked his way through cookbooks, and we'd go up there for a couple weeks during the summer, make this dish, work our way through different cookbooks, different cuisines, different cultures and stuff. So always just had a love and a passion for it and a taste for it. So.
And when did you migrate down south?
2009. 2008 was a decision and the idea that I want to go to culinary school and follow what I loved for once. I've done everything.
Yeah.
Jack of all trades.
We were going through some of it beforehand. You said when you turned 18, it was running away from the restaurant industry.
Get away from that.
Get away from it.
Don't even think about stepping foot back.
So what were you pursuing at that time?
Graphic design. So I went to college for graphic design and business minor. Business major, I don't know. I wasn't ever truly decided what I wanted to do, but I was on the breaking edge of where computers and everything were coming down and the design work and stuff like that. So basically did a lot of that through culinary school. And while I was in school, through graphic design, I started doing my own screen printing and embroidery. So I did that while I was in school, and I was like, making $100,000 a year doing printing T-shirts and doing all this stuff. See you later. So I never finished college, I never did any of that, but followed my love and my passion. I was putting my artwork and drawings and designs on shirts, painted a bunch of school murals on basketball floors and walls and stuff. So I did airbrush.
And where did the restaurant world pull you back in?
So all the events and anything we've ever done and all the places I've ever worked, I was always the guy cooking and behind the scenes because I did a lot of walleye fishing and perch fishing, so I bring that together. We do fish fries and cookouts.
So you're the guy that everybody invites over.
Yeah. It was always my love and my passion, so I was like, why not just follow it? This is what I'm happiest doing, and to see the smile on people's faces, enjoying the food, and still being creative and putting stuff together, it's like, why not? Just do it.
Yeah. And so what restaurants? So you've been kind of going through different restaurants, and now we got Hen Hog. So
there's a whole list. There's a laundry list. So the idea while I was here doing the thing is, and I probably should have done that instead of doing the culinary school thing, is going and working through all these restaurants, learning as much as you possibly can from all these great chefs and coworkers and stuff like that, and building your resume. And so finished up culinary school, had an externship at Luma in Winter Park.
Yeah.
From there, I went to McCormick and Schmick's. They were just getting ready to open up Prado, so I got the call from Brandon. I was like, hey, you want to join the team? Come along. We'll get everything set up and ready. So I did Prado.
Good spot, yeah.
Left Prado, and that was the opening of Cask and Larder.
That's another good one.
So,
okay.
Basically got to work the AM. I was more of the prep chef. We're coming in and doing all the smoking, butchering all the meats, getting everything set. Saturday and Sunday brunches, so doing stuff like that. So the brunch has kind of always been my fallback and my love.
Yeah.
So I've done brunch at just about everywhere I worked. After that, went to Wolfie's Pizza Mia, which is an Italian spot. Did all of our own handmade pastas, did all of our own charcuterie, all of our different meats, and we're just getting ready to blow the doors off with guests and clientele coming in, and I had a little argument with one of the owners.
Oh.
So I'm like, I will never work for somebody like you, and I basically says, well, you're not going to work for me? I said, no. So you're fired. And the entire staff walked out with me.
Oh, wow.
So that was a good showing, I guess, of faith.
Yeah, I bet, yeah.
That was a testament to you as a chef. And
So that was kind of my open gap in there. Went home, did a little vacation, and a friend of mine called from there that they were opening up the Parkview, which is the old Eola Wine Company on Park Avenue. So came in there, looked at this tiny, tiny kitchen, like, we can make food out of here.
yeah.
We blew it up. We had fun. So it was basically able to cook food from around the world and do different stuff like that because of the wines and the pairings and stuff like that. Doing the small dessert platters, doing small dishes and stuff for tables to share, and then I started doing brunch there too. So that was one of my first brunch spots on my own.
So I mean, you have quite a resume, but now Hen Hog is the new baby. I mean, how was that opening that up and getting that on its feet?
I think I got the keys on September 1st, and I basically had some friends come in, help out. We did all the re-electrical, the plumbing, moving everything, painting, sanding the floors, doing all the walls, coming up with the logos and branding everything, and opened up in 20 days.
Wow.
I lived there.
That's like unheard of, especially like around this time where I know people are having issues with like just getting inspections and getting product through the door.
I was on the phone constantly. We're gonna get the nice part now is you get the headphones and can talk and can work as you're doing stuff.
Yeah,
So
I'm sure. And I mean, this is where your long and varied resume comes into play. You were telling me you used to do welding. You did all sorts of, not
electrical,
just
construction, printing, graphics, like you name it. It was great. It's fun.
Yeah, and now it's all paid off and poured right into.
It saves a lot of money.
I'm sure.
You are truly a jack of all trades.
So like, some of the painters walk in and go, "How much to paint this place?" I go, $8,000, $9,000. I'm like, I can buy the painter for $350. I can buy a tub of paint for $100. I can do it under $600. See you later.
I painted murals before. I can paint.
So I mean, it's tough. I mean, everybody's got to make a buck and earn a living in that stuff and bring some of the people in. But at the time and where it was at, it's like, there's no way I can pay all this money to get all this stuff set up and done. Like,
as fast as you did.
Yeah.
I lived there. I slept there. It was interesting.
How many hours a day was that? 20 days. That's got to be
Like 18-hour days. Wow. Easily.
It's like an HGTV show, you know? Like,
Yeah, you got to have it done by tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, you obviously have traveled through a lot of Central Florida's kind of culinary experience. How is Hen Hog adding to that culinary foodie world that Central Florida is?
I mean, when I first came down here, it was kind of scary because I feel everything was chain.
Yeah.
And got very lucky with working some of the restaurants that I did as far as that and seeing how you're buying local, you're finding ingredients and stuff like that locally, definitely picking stuff that is more holistic and not filled with antibiotics and stuff that's bad. As far as the vegetables and all that stuff, I mean, I do some stuff, but I've kind of pulled back from that.
Yeah.
We did a lot of the vegan, vegetarian style, but stuff was, they see Hen and Hog, they're like, I'm not going to go in and eat there. But we were doing I was doing a barbecued tofu, doing a rub, putting it in the smoker, bringing it out, and just oddball stuff like that. I'd sell 2 of them. Well, I made 8 of them. Like, I'm throwing 6 in the garbage. It just didn't seem to work out right. I mean, I still get some flack back on the name as far as not having as much as the vegan, vegetarian options, but there's stuff on there, and I'll make whatever for whoever walks on the door.
Yeah.
I got fried green tomatoes. I'll make a sandwich with a base like that. We did a burger, and it was a falafel patty.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is my spin on it, but it was my take. I'm like, here's your vegan patty, because you start looking at the Impossible burgers and the oddball stuff like that. There's more chemicals and preservatives in that than you'd ever want to serve to anybody.
Yeah. So that's important to you as a chef. It's not just the mass production, just about the food, but
really
it's the overall health of
farm to table.
By far. And it has to be. I mean, you start looking at stuff and you start watching some of these shows and reading some of the books and how do you feed 6 billion people on a planet and make it completely healthy and good for you? So I'm working on a cookbook, writing a cookbook. I've been doing this for like 6 years, calling it Eating Around the Edges. So basically everything in the grocery store, if it doesn't go bad or doesn't turn green on you, don't eat it.
It's full steam ahead on Hen and Hog's most popular brunch offerings. Plus, the health scare that landed Chef AJ Haines in the hospital, forcing the restaurant to close for weeks. That's coming up next on Florida Foodie. Florida Foodie is back with AJ Haines, the chef behind Hen and Hog. The Winter Park restaurant along Fairbanks Avenue is serving up Southern-style smoked barbecue, burgers, pastries, and an unforgettable brunch menu.
So walk us through a little bit of what you brought here as while we're on the subject of your food and you know where it comes from and how you're sourcing everything. What all do we have out?
So we've got a brioche bun. It's basically it's a local company. They do it with the McDonald's buns also, but they do ours for us a little bit bigger, add a little bit more butter to it, and then we toast it with brown butter on our flat top. We make all of our own house pickles. You'll see here. There's a little bit of chow chow / coleslaw. So we do a chow chow base for a lot of our sandwiches, which is a pickled sweet and sour southern dish. But it's green tomatoes, red peppers, red tomatoes, cabbage, green pepper, red pepper loaded up with a little bit of vinegar, celery seed, and mustard seed.
If someone says, "I'll have whatever the chef's having," what would it be?
They're all my babies.
Oh,
I can't ever pick one out. So
Yeah.
that's why the menu changes so much.
That's why it does change a lot.
So you start looking at stuff, you start working on it. It hasn't changed so much in the last few months because I've been recovering. But going into that, you get tired of eating the same thing every day. But I sample it, we make sure it's good, everything's on point. So I try the barbecue pork every day. We try a piece of the chicken, try the fries before you send it out. You sample as you work all day. I should have brought the mac and cheese. That's probably our
Number one
seller. People freak out. I 5 gallons a week.
Really, I'm already starting the plating process. Chef, sorry.
So I love barbecue. I've been done that for a long time. That was part of the welding I did when I was a kid. We would build our own smokers and stuff like that. So a lot of butts. Friends would be hunters. Lived up in Wisconsin, so everybody bringing different game and stuff like that. We would smoke different things up. Where it was a huge fisherman, so we'd smoke a lot of different fish and stuff like that. Wild game. But doing down here, my ribs, I've been working on for 20 years. They're phenomenal. I don't think you can beat them. I try ribs everywhere I go. And I'm no, they're good, but no.
Yeah. And you talked a little bit about your setbacks. You had some health issues. I mean, looks you're here right now. You look good. How are you feeling?
Still in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
Hospital-wise, the first time it hit, as far as the diverticulitis attack, it was a Tuesday morning. I don't feel good. This is really hurting me today.
Yeah.
Woke up at 11:30 at night, drenched in sweat. Took the thermometer to the most 104-degree temperature, and I'm I know I'm in bad shape. So I drove myself to the hospital, and 4.5 hours, 5 hours later was emergency surgery.
Wow.
It's
been a process since.
Yes, it's diverticulitis, closed down for 2.5 weeks. As far as I couldn't move, I couldn't do anything.
So the whole restaurant just was closed.
Yeah, you were telling me you do pretty much everything at the restaurant.
I mean, it's probably not the
here and there.
best side of it, but you have a lot of good people as far as that, but you still always have your hands in all of it.
Yeah.
As far as overseeing. And we're at that point, we're just getting ready to start expanding and doing stuff and bringing on more staff, and nope.
Yeah,
Wow.
and that was January this year, right?
Yeah, January 25th.
January 25th, and you had just opened September, October of the previous year.
Well, October was our grand opening, and we were just starting up. It was line out the door, crazy busy. And then after getting back out of the hospital, it was crickets, scared. Uh-oh. And then, you get the messages on Messenger and the stuff through Facebook and Instagram, you guys are closed, why don't you let anybody know? I said, we're kind of posted that chef's in the hospital and not going to be back for a little while. And
Yeah.
so the following at that point was uh-oh. So that's kind of when I did my little post. It was more of hey, we're back open. And I didn't expect it to go as viral as it did and how it expanded, but it was I'm just telling everybody we're back. Follow along, please. Come help out, come support local. Because I feel we're not the only ones. I'm friends with a lot of the local businesses and stuff on that, and the owners and that. We've all kind of talked what happened? It's scary. And Orlando's kind of definitely a chain side restaurant. There's very few that are privately owned, independently owned, and
Well, even
try to add us to our top 10. I always say, I want to be part of your top 10. Come in and eat. Come back. I don't care if it's this month, next month, this week. You come back weekly. You come back for brunch. You come back from dinner one time. But throw us in the room.
I mean, even in your section of Winter Park, though, there's been issues. I know the Coop shut down. Cost Coffee just down the road from you had to close, and it's kind of a tough location. Not a lot of street parking or.
Well, I've worked out a lot of stuff on the weekends now. Fannie Hillman's great and been wonderful to us. So we get their parking lot, which is about 45 spots.
That's great.
So we've got signs up back there. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. It tells you where to park, what times are available after 3 o'clock. The bagel guys are you guys can use our spot whenever you want. So I've got a lot of help and support from that. Still working out the Rollins College spot that just got sold. So they're doing a lot of construction already. It's I'll get you set here because you can have the spot on the weekends. There's nobody who's going to be here. So that's another 20 spots I can add. We have our own parking lot across the street, but it's always full. it's always like there's a couple of other businesses in the area that fill it up, and cars sit there for 2 or 3 hours, and very hard to rotate in and out. So we try to be as helpful as much as we possibly can. Somebody calling in for a pickup, all right, we'll park behind the bagel dudes, bagel shop, and come in and grab your food.
It seems like you've got a nice community around you that's able to support you, as well as, you know, your customers and everything coming in. And you said that post of yours kind of went viral. And you know, what's been the response? What have people been saying?
We'll get a lot of great help, and then there's other ones. That's not how to run a business, and that's how I do it. Like, well, that's kind of how it has to go at point in time. Like, got to stay afloat. This is our first year. I'm not planning on making any money, and never was, but have done very well at the last places that I've opened as far as our first year and been successful. So that, I think, kind of thrown out there was that we're closed already. He's not coming back. Like, I'm back. Like, come on, help us out.
He's right now on Florida Foodie. He's back. All right, everybody. Let's just say that. And can we just dig in while we talk? Can we still dig into this? Is this real? Is this real food?
Oh yeah, chicken and waffle sandwich.
Look real.
So it's a liege waffle. So it's got the little pearl crystals inside of it, which kind of pop perfectly. Chicken thigh breaded. It's our jade sauce. My good friend Terrence is a chef of mine that I went to culinary school with. They came up with this sauce.
Sure.
Okay.
And then there's pickled jalapenos to add on the side. I never know who wants spice.
I mean, that's kind of a good. That's it.
Some people love it. Like, they'll try them and go, "Oh, these aren't hot." So we pickle the jalapenos, work them around, try to get as much seeds out as possible.
This is a heavy duty. Like, this is a waffle.
Yeah, that's breakfast. Breakfast and a sandwich.
Right here.
So we now have beer and wine and stuff like that. So this goes with You're My Boy Blue. It's a wheat ale that we do.
Cute.
So it's like the whole meal is breakfast.
This is not going to be dainty whatsoever.
No, it's not.
Okay, I'm going in.
And I try not to do anything really dainty. There's some dainty sandwich, but there's other ones that are full on, like, go to town.
My jaw doesn't go. That is delicious.
Yeah, it's one of those sandwiches that the first time we made it, everybody bit into it and they're like, don't change it.
Yeah.
I did add the pickled jalapenos because I always do like the vinegar.
Oh, that's good.
You do the umami cooking where it's sweet, sour, tangy, spicy, crunch,
I get one of those napkins.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
You're fine.
Hogging all the napkins over here.
But I don't get a half? I'm sure.
We can meet in the middle.
No Lady in the Tramp. We're good.
But how do you create some of these? Do you like wake up in the middle of the night and go, this is what I'm
I've
gonna
got a
do?
notebook and a pen and a paper next to the bed.
Do you really?
Yep.
I feel like that's so cliche, but I guess it works, right?
works.
I mean, that's when your brain
That's even like,
slows down.
I got a stack of comp books there. Some of it's for the cookbook, some of it's for menu ideas. Sometimes I'll just see something like, oh, I can do a spin on that.
What's over there by you? Over here?
The pimento cheese is one of everybody's favorites, so it goes into a lot of
What is
sandwiches.
up with pimento cheese right now? It is the thing.
I was mad Chick-fil-A copied my sandwich. But yeah, the pimento cheese making house, so we pickle the red peppers, pickle the jalapenos, everything kind of goes in there.
Okay.
Load them up.
Oh man, I love pimento cheese.
This batch is a little spicy. The jalapenos were very over the top this time.
Let's see. Let's try this.
There we go. So, you're from Oshkosh, Wisconsin, but it seems like you've really adopted Southern cuisine. Like, what was it that I mean? I don't know that people really rave about Midwestern cuisine necessarily, but
Cheese curds, come on.
Okay,
Butter
fair
burger, fish and chips.
Do you bring any of that into the restaurant?
Fish and chips is actually a huge seller on the menu. I got yelled at from my mother when she first came in. He goes, "No fish and chips." Like, that's kind of what got me back into the cooking so much, is doing all the fish fries and the steaks and the burgers and the smoking. But my fish recipes, the only change that I did in my batter recipe is I Southernized it and I use Coca-Cola instead of Sprite. So it caramelizes. It actually brings a little bit darker color to it. It looks great.
Smart.
Tastes great.
The best thing we can do for you, I think, is just let people know where they can find you in the world and also online, and
Follow us Instagram and Google. Instagram, Facebook, Google. Like, we keep loading it up, we keep filling up and going that route. Like the World Wide Web, doing the web page and doing the stuff like that, I kind of pulled away from, because it's like, where'd you find us? Oh, Instagram. Where'd you find us? Instagram.
So it's just Hen and Hog?
Hen and Hog.
Okay.
The Hen and Hog, not the Hen and the Hog, because there's another place in Pompano Beach that has the in front of
The
Hog.
Hen and Hog.
Yeah.
Awesome. AJ Haines, thank you so much. I'm going to finish eating this, but I just don't want to do it on TV because I look like a beast doing it.
Sounds good.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
If you missed any part of this episode, make sure to check out Florida Foodie on News 6 Plus. You can download it for free on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, or Android TV.